What's going on? This is Ryan with Automatic Comics, and up next, I thought it would be fun to go over the books that I sold this last week. So I was traveling the last week, so I happened to have a number of books that sold while I was away, and so I've got to ship them all out, and so I happen to have them all at once instead of when I normally get orders in and I ship them out as soon as I can. So I have 12 books here, pretty cool set of books, a big range in the types of books that I sold. So I thought it'd be fun to go through these books. Let's check these out. All right, so before we get started, please remember to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content like this. So I don't talk about the sales side too often on this channel. I've done a few videos. I did that series on building a comic business. I'm planning on getting back into that one again at some point, but I just thought it would be interesting to go over these because I actually had an opportunity this time to show all the books in a video that I sold in this last week. So like I said, some pretty cool stuff in a big variety. So the first one here, you might recognize this one because I just had picked this one up in that trade that I did for the Captain America 74. This is Wizard #1, this classic McFarland Spider-Man cover, but this one is signed by Todd McFarlane. You've got the signature in white down there, the T. McFarlamp, as I like to say his signature looks like, but I mean, it even does up here, you know, T. McFarlamp. All right, at least there you get the full Todd, but this one's just the T. But yeah, cool cover. You know, just this one went crazy during the comic boom. I mean, you had 9/8 of this book going for, I think it hit like $5,000 or $7,000. But it's come back quite a bit since then, but still a very desirable book. Wizard #1, signed by Todd McFarlane. Now this next one, I think this is one of the cooler Joker covers from the Golden Age. Detective Comics 69 is definitely my favorite Joker cover. That's where he's kind of like the genie and he's got the handgun. But this one is a really cool one as well. This is actually one that I got graded. This is Detective Comics number 71. It is a 0.5 because it is missing some pages on the interior, but still the cover is very presentable. And so you've got Joker on the cover here pulling the dates off the calendar, and actually the interior splash page is very similar. They seem to do that a lot in the early Detective Comics, where the interior splash page is very, very similar to what the cover art actually is. But Detective Comics 71, like I said, I think one of the cooler Joker covers from the Golden Age, definitely from the Detective Comics run. But yep, so that was the next one. Now this is a book you do not see every day. This one, I think when I had picked this one up, one had not sold publicly. It was for like 5 years, something like that. I mean, this is one that I had never seen come up for sale before. I was aware of it, but I'd never seen come up for sale. I'd seen issue #1 come up a few times, but not issue #2. It's only a 3-issue run. This is Super World Comics #2. And it is a 1.0, but it is a solid presenting 1.0. Here's the back cover. It's not like it's missing any big pieces or anything like that. I think it's like a split spine maybe or something, but it is a really solid presenting copy of this one. It has this cool star stamp on here, which is interesting because my Super World #1 that I have a 0.5 incomplete, also has a star stamp there. I've noticed quite a few of the Super World issues actually have that star stamp, and I don't know why that is, but Super World Comics #2, a book that you will not see, and I just thought it was really cool to have the opportunity to own this book. All right, now this next one, I think this is one of the better covers from this run. I believe this is I think it's a Joe Doolin cover. I'm almost certain this is a Joe Doolin cover. It doesn't say it on here, but I'm almost certain it is. This is Fight Comics #40. And this one has just about everything you want going for it in a World War II type cover. You've got the good girl art, the attractive woman, you've got the kind of like the bondage stuff, you've got these skulls down on the bottom there that have, I mean, they've got diamonds in their eyes, you've got the Nazi soldier in the background, this whatever this crow or vulture, not crow, vulture is going to do there. But yeah, such a cool cover. You've even got the, you know, like the swastika up there. So this one, for a World War II cover, this one has just about all the cover content that you want. It's a CBCS 6.5, white pages, and it's got this little check mark here too, which is basically CBCS's way of saying that the book presents above its grade. And it really does. I mean, it is a stunning presenting copy of this book. It does look much nicer than a 6.5, but there are some flaws on it that make it a 6.5. But yeah, really great book. So Fight Comics, number 40. All right, and then the last one here for the slabs, and then we'll get into the raw books. This is an awesome cover. Love this cover. Bernard Bailey cover. Picked this one up recently as well. This is Mr. Mystery number 11. I've said this about Bernard Bailey a number of times. His pre-code horror books, he often has like a focus on whatever the character on the cover is like face. Like that's what he focuses on. And you have, you know, like very detailed faces, a lot of expression in the eyes, and it just really sets his covers apart. And this one, just creepy cool cover, you know, the guy buried in the ground, just his head, and these ants coming up, and you know what's going to happen to him because they already showed you in the background what happened to that guy. So not a good time, not a good way to go, but Mr. Mystery number 11, really cool Bernard Bailey cover. I mean, yeah, just awesome one. That is a cool Bernard Bailey cover. I like that one. All right, now for the raw books. So let's see, quite a few of these. So there were 7 raw books, and 6 of them were from that Golden Age collection that I picked up along with Big B McFly, the comic guy, Brian. And so definitely having some of the books that are from that collection that have been selling. The first one here is Journey into Mystery number 18. You know, well before you had that first appearance of Thor, this was more of a horror type title, a suspense type title, eventually into kind of like monsters a little bit. But yeah, Journey into Mystery number 18. Then we've got Black Magic number 18. And this was one that was actually a pretty decent presenting copy. I mean, you had the pop staple down here, but very bright colors. I always like having issues that have unique colors for the era, like colors you don't normally see on the covers. And in this case, it's like this pink cover and these kind of like bright blues and greens, like just not colors you normally see, especially in pre-code horror. So I think this one's a pretty cool cover, really catches your attention. So Black Magic number 18. The Black Magic, there was a Black Magic number 1 in this collection that I was very disappointed about. I didn't make a separate video about it, but it was another one that had the wrong interior. And so that was very frustrating. The first page was the correct interior, and then everything after that was from some like the Golden Age Daredevil book, you know, like a late issue Golden Age Daredevil book. And it was, I was pretty annoyed about that. But yes, but this is Black Magic number 18, and this one is just have the correct interior. Now this is one I remember talking about when I was going through these, that this run, especially the early issues, have a surprising amount of value. So something to keep an eye out for because they are pretty uncommon. And this is Casper the Friendly Ghost number 5. And this is a lower grade book, but the colors are great. They really pop. It is a solid presenting copy. This was from St. John Publications as well. I don't think it says it on the cover, but it is on the interior. It's from St. John Publications. And these ones are, like I said, very tough to come by, these early issues. And so they do command quite a bit of value. So just something to keep an eye out for if you come across some of those early Caspers that are St. John Publications. They do have a pretty decent amount of value. So Casper the Friendly Ghost, number 5. Then we've got cool, I believe this is a Lee Elias cover. This is Chamber of Chills, number 22. And you've got the this kind of like monster zombie guy over here. He doesn't look human. You know, this isn't a human back here. But torturing this guy on like the stretching rack there. But yeah, Chamber of Chills, number 22. Cool Lee Elias cover. Then we've got one of the classic Archie covers. This is Archie number 48. And you've got Archie asking Betty if she wants a spoon, and it's got the innuendo thing, and she says that she'd love to, and he can pick her up at 8. So this is one of the more valuable books in that Archie run. 50 is definitely one of the most valuable in terms of the kind of like the innuendo, good girl art type covers, but 48 is no slouch. So yeah, Archie, number 48, cool Betty cover. Then we've got Mickey Mouse Magazine, Volume 5, number 10. Now this one was also from the Golden Age collection. All these so far that I've talked about are from that Golden Age collection. So this is Mickey Mouse Magazine, Volume 5, number 10. This is just 2 issues before the last issue, and then it turned into Walt Disney's Comics and Stories. And so these later issues tend to have quite a bit more value than the earlier ones. I don't know why that is. Maybe they're just lower print runs or something at that point, a little tougher to come by. But Volume 5, number 10, cool 4th of July cover with Donald Duck on there. And I like the solid type colors. I think it's a good looking cover. So Mickey Mouse Magazine, Volume 5, number 10. And the last book that I sold this week. This is also a pretty cool book. It is a low-grade copy, but one that you do not see very often. This is Thunda, King of the Congo, number 1. This is cover, art, and story, all done by Frank Frazetta. I don't know if he's got his, yeah, you got the signature on the cover down there. So this is not one that you see very often. Even in low grade like this, it carries quite a bit of value. And so if you ever come across this one, and he didn't do all the issues or anything like that, so you can have those later ones, but Thunda number 1, King of the Congo. This, and he's got kind of like you have the classic Frank Frazetta, good girl art type cover there as well. But those were the 12 books that sold this last week. Like I said, it's a really cool variety, like a wide variety of books that people picked up. I mean, this one's really awesome. The Mr. Mystery number 11 is a really cool one, and this Fight Comics 40 was actually on my keeper list for a while because I think this is just such an incredible cover. So Fight Comics number 40, it's a CBCS. So I did have one CBCS book that sold this week. And like I said, remember, just if you keep an eye out for those little check marks, it just means that it presents above its grade. But yeah, some really cool books. Hope you enjoyed this. Thought it was just interesting to be able to show all of these. If you like this video, if you'd like to see more content like this, please hit that like button and subscribe button, the notification bell. I've got more videos over here. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, I've got the subscription button right here. And I will see you in the next video.